Hi, welcome to Green. My name is Esmeralda and I post about everything that makes me happy. Today we're going to do a playthrough of this little game. It's a solo playable game called Adamastor and truly solo playable. Plays about 30 minutes. Today we're going to take a bit longer because I'm also going to explain how to do the setup and everything and how to play it. It's a game that comes with two ways of playing it. So there is a campaign with different campaigns. You can read through that if you want to do the campaign version of the game. Today we're going to do the basic game and we're going to follow the rules in the rule book. Now the goal of the game is actually you're going to go on a journey as a captain of a fleet during the age of discovery, and you've been chosen by your king to explore uncharted lands, which is a very optimistic way of telling you that you're going to embark on a journey and experience 50 ways to die at sea, basically. Meaning this is not an easy game, it's very challenging, actually. But the easy part is the setup. So you start with the map. So you need a map to sail the seas. And to do so, you're going to shuffle up these map cards, which you can recognize on the backs of these are the backs of the cards. And it shows a map, and you need 3 of them. Put the rest in the box. And you're going to place these 3 on the top end of your player area and turn the leftmost one over and it shows you the map, which is a in this case it's a very stormy map. I'll explain about these dark clouds, these dark thunder clouds later on in the game, but you'll see on one part of the map you'll see 3 areas, 3 spots with anchors on them. Those are the spots that if you land on them, you're going to have an encounter, which makes you draw an encounter card from this encounter deck. But basically you just, in this case, we just want to move through here as fast as possible because this is very stormy weather, and weather is a very important part of this game. So this is the first part of the map that's revealed. We're going to place it here. These are going to remain unrevealed, but we'll reveal them when we get there. Now we need to place our end goal card. You can choose one of these 3. You'll recognize them because they have this little red flag on the back. Shuffle them up a bit. Choose one. Put the rest in the box and we'll place this at the very end of the map. Scoot down a bit so it's all in the frame. So this is the entire map. The rules suggest that if you want to make it more difficult, you can actually add another part of the map here. Which is a very hypothetical situation. I would actually advise you to just remove one part of the map, make it shorter just to build your confidence, because yeah, as I said, it's a challenge. And there are more ways to die in this game than there are to win. There's actually one way to win, which is to reach the end goal. That's the only way that you can win this game. But for the rest, it's all terrible. Okay, now we need some ship cards, and these are the ship cards, and we're going to make what's called an adventure area, which is going to be filled with riots, unrest, disease, and fatigue, but also opportunities and motivation. So first we're going to draw 3 cards, place this deck somewhere, I'd say somewhere over here. And we're going to turn around these cards and you'll see there are some numbers on the top here. There are some clouds up here. These are three, let's say, light clouds, so it's cloudy in here. You'll also see some icons. These flames here, they represent the icons for unrest. The skull, that represents the icon for disease. And these, these red blobs, they represent the icons for fatigue, which is all the terribleness that can happen to your crew on a ship like this. On the side of the card, on one side of the card, you can see if it's green like this, or if it has these motivation compasses, it will give you what's called a skill. These are the good things about these cards. We want skills. But also, in this case, you can see a skull and a fatigue, so a disease and a fatigue. These are your traumas, and they're going to play a very important part in eventually you struggling and possibly losing the game, because you don't want to have too many of these traumas in the end, and you actually want to have more skills. At the bottom of the cards, you'll see what's called the navigation points. You'll need these navigation points to sail across the map, because every step you take, it's going to cost you navigation points. So the more navigation points, the better. And immediately you'll see that you have to make a choice. For instance, here you get a lot of navigation points if you use this card to navigate, but also you would like to keep it because it's going to potentially give you a skill. So there are your tough decisions that you have to make. But for now, these go into what's called the adventure deck, and you have to place them in descending order from left to right. So the highest number goes the most left, and then you descend, what's this, 30? And this is 22. So this is the order. It's important to place them in order because later on in the game you'll have to remove the one with the lowest value, which is always the one to the most to the right. Okay, you have some player aids to remember all of this. So let's do that later. First, we're going to draw our hand cards. So we're going to start with 3 cards in our hand. Let's do that. And in our hand we have, all this sunny stuff. Okay, now luckily for us, during the setup, we do have to determine the weather, but in the first move it's not going to affect us because of the order in which we do the setup. But for now it's good to know we have all this sunny weather here, which is important because later on we can do 3 types of actions, including swapping cards. And sometimes it's a good idea to swap some cards with the adventure area. Okay, we have lots of navigation points, which is positive. And we have some dual icons. So we have a lot of unrest and disease, but also this compass, which is a motivation icon. We need that to pay for instance, the cost of a skill, which in this case it asks for 2 motivation icons. And at the moment in our adventure area we only have 1 motivation icon, so probably handy to swap a card at some point, but we'll see. For now we'll place the cards here. They don't need to be in a particular order. We'll just place them here, or you can keep them in your hands. But for us now, I'm going to place them here. Then we have some helpers, some cards that make us remember what to do. in the right order. So first of all, we have a player aid, which gives you the turn order. So the game basically, one turn basically has 4 stages. We basically did the first stage, the sunrise stage, where we draw the cards for the adventure row and determine the weather. So the first thing we have to do now is determine the weather. And what we mean by that is we take the weather card and look up all the icons that are in the adventure area. So you can see here we have 3 of the same type of weather icons. We all have these light clouds. So 3 light clouds means that we have turbulent waters. And turbulent waters means we actually get 3 actions, but all the navigation costs are +1, so it's more expensive to move during this turn. And so you place one of these multi-purpose tokens just to remind you that we are in this type of weather, but we get 3 actions. So we get 3 actions, keep the tokens, let's keep them here. Okay, but it also says something about navigation costs. So here is a reminder of the navigation cost. If we move to clear waters, it only costs 2 navigation points. If it's cloudy, of course you're in more troublesome water, then it's going to take you cost you 3 navigation points. If you want to move to a land area, it also costs you 3 navigation points. And then there's something like the current, which I don't know if you can see this, but you can see these little waves and they're going in a certain direction. And if you go, for instance, let's say you're here and you're moving with the flow, then moving only costs you 1 navigation point. But if you approach this area from any other way than with the current, then it's going to cost you 4 navigation points. So navigating is actually important. This is a very bad map to start with, by the way, but okay. So now we explained the cost of navigating. Just as a reminder, we're going to put it here with the navigation stuff. Then the second phase of the game is called the action phase, where we're going to draw cards, swap cards, or navigate. But the third part of one turn is called the event phase, and that is when we actually land on one of these spots with an anchor. Per map part there are 3 spots where you can land on an anchor, and then you can draw an encounter card. So to keep track of that, we're going to place this little reminder. This is our experience card. I'll explain myself later. And then finally, the event card, we'll place it next to our hand. It reminds us what steps to take during the event phase of the turn. So now basically we've almost finished the setup. We have one tiny little detail, and that is our ship. We already determined the weather, so it doesn't really matter where we place our ship, but we're going to place it right at the edge of the map. In this case, you see all these thunder clouds. Normally, if you land on a cloudy thunder cloud area like this, it means that it turns one lighter cloud into a dark thunder cloud, which actually changes the weather when you have to determine the weather. So important to take note of that. But for now, let's see where we're going to start. Oh boy, I think we're going to start here, move to an anchor, go upstream, and then try to get to the edge of the map like that. Let's do that. So we'll start here. Okay. So I have 3 turns. I also have 3 cards in my hand and lots of navigation points. Yeah. I might want to, I can get far enough, but I actually only want to go 1 step, I think, because I want to have that encounter. And I already have enough to move. So let's see, I can have 3 choices. I can draw a card, I can swap a card, or I can navigate. And I think I want to swap a card because I want to have some influence on the weather. Next turn, I want to have better weather. So I'm going to use one of my tokens already to swap this card. And immediately I have to move this stuff around a bit. Am I going to use this one? Hang on, am I going to use this one or am I going to use that one? Let's see. Actually, I want to keep that one. I want to keep this one because this one lets me ignore a storm cloud on the map, which is in this phase with this map is very handy. I want to keep one of these, but I don't want to add too much skulls. But there is no motivation on this one, and there is a motivation on this one. So I think I'm going to swap this one anyway, because I actually need that motivation to be able to pay for this skill later on. So let's do that, I think. Or should I swap that one? Should I swap that one? Yeah, I should swap that one. I should swap that one. Okay. Then it goes like that. Okay. Again, in descending order, 30, 22, 3. So I think it's going to be this. And yeah. Like that. Okay. Now, that was my first move. And then, my first token. Then, for the second one, I think I have these 2. Yeah, I think we're going to draw a card and see what we get. Ooh, we get, wow, we get a lot of movement here, but also a very important skill, because this lets me ignore a trauma later on, which is actually what we want. And I can choose which trauma to ignore, which is even better. And it's also as, okay. Well, we have all sorts of skills now and the highest maneuvers. But we are going to need that because actually navigating costs 1 extra cost. So instead of just moving to a cloudy area costing 3, it actually costs 4. And I don't have, oh, that's actually a bummer, because I only have 3, so I can't, any extra points that I give are lost. So I do have to spend 2 cards, which in this case I'm just going to take these 2. So I'm actually donating 6 for a move that costs 4, but I'm not going to move any further, I think, because I do want to have this encounter. Encounters usually are yeah, they can be good news or bad news, so let's see what happens. So yeah, I'm going to pay this. Could be the worst decision this morning, but anyway, I'm going to do that. I have 2 cards left in my hand, and I'm going to move 1 spot. Now, immediately, I'm going to gain 1 experience, and I get to add 1 morale to my card deck, which means I get to take the top card and move it back to the deck, because this deck is actually also a counter. Once this deck runs out and you need to take a card and you can't, you lose the game, which is yet another way to lose this game. Okay, now I moved. Also, I'm going to mark this place with a little token so that we know that I took one encounter, and now I'm going to take an encounter card which you draw from the bottom of the deck. And since it was a water spot that we landed on, we're going to take the water encounter, so the sea encounter, not the land encounter. So what does it say? I actually have to read this now. It says, the flagship of your kingdom has just crossed your path. You are all invited on board for a warm meal and drinks. Remove 1 of your traumas from play or gain 3 morale. Shuffle this card back into the encounter deck. Okay. So this is what I mean with a good news encounter. Unfortunately, it was very early in the game, so I don't have any traumas to remove from play, but I have some morale to gain. So I'm going to do that and shuffle this back into the deck and place this card back into the ship deck. So that was my encounter. And then, so I finished part 2 of my turn. I finished all the actions. So now I have to check for events. And you're going to do that with your little event card to help you. So let's look at the first part of the event check. If there are 2 or 3 motivation icons, you have the opportunity to gain a skill. So let's look at the icons. We have 2 motivation icons, so we have the opportunity to gain a skill. There are 2 types of skills to choose from. We can either ignore the stormy clouds on the map, or we can ignore this fatigue icon. At the moment, we're very stormy weather and possibly more stormy weather coming ahead. So let's take this one, this skill, and place this one back in our hand. So we have our first skill, and we can ignore 1 stormy cloud on the map from now on for the rest of the game. Okay, so that is that event check. Now we have to check the rest of the events. So we have to check for unrest. If we have 5 of these unrest icons, then we have to discard the lowest card. But we're in the beginning of the game. We only have 1 in the play area, but this is going to change as the game evolves. So don't worry, it's going to get pretty brutal. Then the next check is we're going to check for disease. If we have 5 or more skulls, then we need to remove 1 morale from our deck for every skull that we have. So for now we only have 2 skulls, so this is not happening at the moment. So the third check we have to do, or the fourth check we have to do, is the check for fatigue. If we have 5 fatigue icons, we lose 3 morale. We have only 1, so we're good on that. And then it's the 3 times 3 check. So if we have 3 unrest, 3 disease, and 3 fatigue, we have mutiny, and we immediately lose the game. And so far, I usually lose the game because of mutiny. But at the moment, there is no mutiny, so we're all good. And we can go to the final phase of our turn, which is sunset. So we're going to discard the lowest value card from the adventure row. And then we're going to discard if we have more than 3 cards in our hands. Okay, first we're going to take the lowest card on the adventure track, and we're going to add this to our trauma deck. So let's move this and create a trauma deck over here. So we now have 1 permanent trauma here, 1 disease trauma. Okay, now the next thing is to check our hand. We only have 1 card, and in this game you can't draw back to 3. You really have to earn your cards, so we're ending this turn with only 1 card in our hand, and so that's the finishing of 1 entire round. And so now we're going to start a new round with the sunrise. Okay, for that we need to draw a card. And it's a white cloud, and it's a 26, so let's put it in the right spot. Unfortunately, we haven't changed the weather, even though we swapped 1 card, but because we had to remove it, it didn't help us very much. Yeah, so it is still very turbulent. The weather stays the same, so we do get 3 actions. But navigating is still +1 point. So that's unfortunate. But we do have 3 actions this turn. So yeah. And also, yeah, let's have a look. We want to move that way. We're going to enter a stream which going that way, which normally only costs 1, but now because it's more expensive it costs 2. So with this card we could already do that, but frankly we don't have enough cards. So let's spend 1 token to grab a card, which is pretty terrible, but actually not that bad because it has 1 motivation icon, but it also has a fatigue. So this is not going to help us a lot. Also, it's cloudy, which is also not very helpful. So let's use another token to get another card. Oh, it's even worse. Okay, 6 sailor found dead. Yeah. Okay, well, that did not help a lot, but at least we can move 1 spot, because I could use these 2, my last token, to move 1 spot. I use these 2 points to move, keep that one, because potentially I want to keep that one later on to gain a skill, because I can't. The other option is that I swap this card, but then it would move to the lowest point and I would lose it anyway because of the motivation icon. So let's not do that. Let's at least move 1 spot. Yeah, move 1 spot. I am protected for these rainy clouds, thunder clouds. Lose a token. Yeah, so that concludes my 3 actions, and there's not much more that I can do. I want to keep that one because potentially I want to keep that skill, even though I can't build a skill right now. So let's have a look at our turn. We had sunrise, we had our actions, so now it's time to check for events. Again, I have not enough motivation skills to gain a skill, so that's a bummer. But also I don't have a lot of unrest, only 1. I don't have a lot of sickness, only 2. I have 2 fatigue, so we're fine on the events. Yeah, end of the turn. Sunrise. Oh, hang on. I have to move the lowest one to my trauma deck. So I have 1 permanent trauma extra. And now we draw a new card. 37. It's a skill. But all again, cloudy. Aha. But it has 3 navigation points. It's a possible swappable card. So let's do that. Cloudy, I get three actions during my turn. And yeah, we want to move. We want to move 1 spot over here. Normally costs 3, but now it costs 4. So I don't have enough to move. I need another card. Let's grab another card. It's okay-ish. It's a sunny one. Has 2 movement and potentially, ooh. Oi, 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 oi. I really want this card. This skill is awesome. 1 extra action. Oei. Yeah. The longer I stay on this map, the more trauma I'm going to permanently get. So I have to move on. I can't just wait around and just collect more cards and then just add more skills. I do have to move on. Let's grab another card and see what we're going to do. This is really no use. Yeah. Okay, now the choice is, am I going to, for instance, swap this card? I'm not going to gain a skill this turn again because I don't have enough motivation tokens. I have 1 here which I could swap for that one and not move. Okay, I only have 1 more turn. I think I need to swap this time. Yeah. I would, yeah, let's do that. But then am I going to swap this one or that one? This one, because I need that token. Okay. It's going to be 28, so it's going to go, yeah, okay, so that's useful. Again, this might be stupid, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, that was my last turn. Didn't move, which is scary. I need to get off that map. But I have a lot of opportunities here and 2 motivation. So at least I'm going to, I'm going to score a skill. Yeah, okay. I did my action phase, now to the event phase, which means skill check in a positive way. So we are going to have the opportunity to score 2 skills, either ignore a skull or ignore a fatigue. I think we want to ignore a skull. Let's do that. Okay, so we have that. 2 cards left in our hand. Let's do the rest of the check. So Unrest, okay. Disease, still okay. Fatigue, still okay. And no mutiny, so we're fine. Okay, now we need to go to the next phase, which is sunset. Discard the lowest value one. Still the lowest value one. Check, check, check. Yeah. And we're going to add this to our trauma deck. Ouch. Yeah. Okay, now we're back at sunrise. And we are going to gain another white cloud. But at least it has a motivation. So potentially we could add this card. Ooh, which would be very nice. But still, 3 white clouds. So everything is still expensive. We do get 3 actions. Yeah. Definitely want to have this card. In this phase of the game, that is huge. So let's not spend this one. We might sacrifice this one either for navigation or for the sunny icon. Okay, let's first use 1 token to grab a card. And we have a card and we have, 1 extra navigation point potentially, 2 navigation points and a sunny thing. This together is already 5 points, which we could consider, yeah, this could be enough to get to the edge of the map. And when we get to the edge of the map, something special happens, because then we are still considered in the navigation part of the turn, and we could potentially add more navigation. In order to do so, let's first grab another card, because remember we want to keep this one. So let's add another card, which is not very helpful because it only gives us 1 navigation point, but this might be handy. Okay, let's keep this as a potential navigation points. The last token, and with that we're going to move. So first step is that one costs, that actually costs 4. We actually need this, because I forgot, we need 4 to reach the next spot. We actually don't even have enough. We don't even have enough to reach the end of the map. Yeah. So this is not even enough. Do we want to keep this one and use these 2? No, that's not enough either. We do need this. I forgot about that. Okay, that's a bummer. But at least we get to take 1 step and move over here. So we navigated at least 1 step. Use these 4. Now we can put these in a specific order. Let's do it like that. Okay. That's the end of the action phase. Now look at the events. And yeah, we have 1, 2, 3 motivation tokens, and we have 2 choices. Either we can have a permanent extra action during the rest of the game, which is huge, or 1 navigation point, which is also huge. But let's do that one. So we always have 1 extra action during the game. Let's keep this one. That's that part of the event check. Let's check for unrest. 1, 2, 3, which is bad. Okay, but not 5. Okay. Disease, 1, 2. Okay. Fatigue, 1, 2. Or mutiny, which is not the case. Okay. But already I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous because I have no ignore skills yet. I have no skills to ignore any of these traumas, which is a thing, which is a serious thing. Also, I cannot remove any of the traumas yet. Okay, now sunset. I have to remove the lowest one, check. Yeah, so I am adding one unrest to my trauma deck, and I only have one card, so I can't reduce to 3. Let's go to the sunset. Okay, we have one sunny thing. Let's do a check for the weather. So we have one sunshine and 2 cloudy light clouds. So that would give us cloudy weather, but still 3 actions and no extra navigation costs. We can ignore any clouds because that was one of my skills. So we are actually on cloudy weather. Check, double check. Yeah, there's one stormy cloud there, but I have the ignore option. Okay, so I get three actions during this round. And yeah, I want to get off this map as soon as possible. So let's do that. Let's first draw a card. That's one card. One navigation point. Potentially each skill costs 1 less navigation. Okay, that could be powerful. Cloudy rainstorm cloud. Let's draw another one. Okay, still only 1 navigation point. But still, let's do it. Yeah. So I want to move 1 spot. Only cost me 2. So I'm going to use these 2, put them in this order, and then move to the edge of the map. In which case I get to turn the other map around. It's kind of fiddly. And in this case, I landed on a completely blue spot. And just to show you what the rest of the map looks like in close-up. So we are here. Potentially, we could go here and then here and then go like this. Or we could go really fast and move straight that way, which would also be nice because then we would reach the other side of the map really quickly, but we would not have the opportunity to gain an encounter or gain experience. Actually, you know, let's just see if we can just scoot over as fast as possible with as least cloudiness as possible. Let's try that. Yeah. Okay, again, might be the silliest idea of the morning. We're still in the navigation phase. Actually, we use this. But we don't have enough navigation points to take another step. So let's leave it at this and go to the next phase of the turn, which is event check. So first check for skills. We have 1, 2, 3 motivation tokens. So potentially, oh, hang on. I have an extra action. I could take an extra action. Let's draw a card. Okay, that's one sunny card that could potentially be useful for changing the weather. Okay, now let's go to the event check. Again, we have 3 icons, motivation icons. So there's only one option for that, which is this one. Do I want to take this option? I think so. One extra navigation point can also come in handy. So let's do that. Yes. Okay. Actually, I do notice that I have one ignore skull, so I forgot about that. Okay. That's the first check. The next check is for unrest. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is concerning. Very concerning. The skull check. 1, 2, and I can ignore 1. The fatigue check. 1, 2, 3. And the mutiny, so we have 3 unrest and 3 fatigue, but no 3 skulls yet. So we are still alive. Okay, so that's the event check. Now sunset, discard the lowest one. So the sunny thing is going away. And I'm going to add this one to my traumas. Lots of traumas, unfortunately. Only one card, so let's do sunrise. Okay. It's sunny, that's good. And also a motivation, that's also good. But also another skull. 1, 2, 3 skulls. Potentially death is on the horizon. Truly, oh boy. But I have 1 ignore, so we're not dead yet. No mutiny yet. But as you notice, this is getting tight, and we're not even past the second part of the map. Okay, so I added this one. The weather check, cloudy, yeah. So 2 white clouds, 1 sunny is cloudy. So 3 actions and no extra navigation costs. We need a card. Okay, oh, actually I have 4 actions. Let me remind me. Okay, yeah. That's already a choice. Do I keep this card for its skill, ignoring all of these? Or do I use this card for its navigation? I do want to get out of here. That was my first card. Let's do another token for another card. Only 1 navigation. I can't really swap it because all these cards in the adventure deck have also have 1 navigation, so that's not going to help me. Ugh. However, this is only 1 unrest, so it might be helpful. Let's draw another card. Last one, if I want to move. Oh dear, this is also not very useful. It does have a skill, ignore 1 cloud from the map, but I already have that one. So this is not very useful. I could discard these 3, keep that one, 1, 2, 3, and move 1 spot over there. Yeah, let's do that, because then I would later on gain this skill, because 1, 2, 3, I can gain this skill and ignore one of the traumas over there. So that seems like the most sensible thing to do at this moment. So I have 3 points. Checking, yes, 3 points should be enough. Which order should I place them? Like that, because of the skill. Let's put it here. Okay, so with my last token, I can move 1 spot, 1 meager spot. But the next move will be cheap because it's only 1 and then 3 and then 2. Okay, okay. Let's see if we can make it even beyond that. Yeah. So let's do the skill check. the event check. So yeah, we can gain a skill, which is this one, which we actually need because we need to ignore some of that stuff. So let's add that to our skills here. Then for the rest of the check, we check for unrest. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're okay. How about disease? 1, 2, 3. Ignore 1, so that's 2. Check. Check for fatigue. 1, 2, 3. Still alive. And then for mutiny, well, no mutiny is happening. So we're still, yes, we have 3 unrest. We do have 3, no, hang on, 1, 2, 3 skulls, but we can ignore 1. And we have 1, 2, 3 fatigue, but we can also ignore a fatigue. So we're still fine. We're still alive. Let's do sunset and discard the lowest one. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is truly getting terrible. Let's add sunrise. Let's add another card. Oh boy, this is awful. 49. It's going to move here. But as you can see, we have thundercloud, light cloud, which means the weather is stormy. So, hang on. No, it's turbulent. Turbulent waters, so we have 2 white clouds and 1 thundercloud. We get 3 actions from here, and the navigation cost is +1. Because I have 1 permanent extra action, we get 4 actions, and we're gonna need them. Okay. We want to move at least 1 spot. It's gonna cost 2, that's gonna cost 4, so we need 6. Let's grab a card for 1. Okay, only 1 movement. That's not going to bring us very far. Let's grab another one. Also only 1. By this time, I'm not even looking at the skills because, yeah, we do get an extra navigation point. I probably forgot about that in the previous. Just 1 navigation point. Okay, so we have 3 now. Okay, let's add another card. We need that last one to move. And we don't want to, do we want to swap before I do this? Do we want to swap anything? No, we don't. We definitely don't. Okay, let's move this around. Also terrible. Only 1 spot. So far, we have 3 plus 1 is 4. Yeah. We can do 2 things. We can go upstream, which is going to cost us 2, or we can go to the encounter, which is going to cost us the all 4 points. But you know, it's very expensive to move around now, so let's just keep it cheap. We're going to move 1 spot over there, which is going to cost us 2 cards. But which one? Let's keep that one and take these 2. Oh, hang on. No, let's take that one, keep that one. So at least we have, what kind of skill do we want? We can have 4 cards in our hand or draw 2 cards and keep 1. Let's keep that one. Okay. Place them in this order and donate that. So we already moved. So that concludes our action phase. We have no more actions. So now we're going to do the skill or the event check. Check for skills. So 1, 2. Yeah, we have this one. And which lets us, every time we have to draw a card, we can draw 2 cards and keep 1, put the other one back into the deck. Let's take that one. Okay, unrest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy, 6. We can ignore 1, but it's not going to help us. Yeah. So then we have to discard the lowest one and put it in our trauma deck. That's the punishment and the beginning of death. Okay. So again, this might have been the silliest, stupidest idea this morning, but we already lost 1 card into our trauma deck. Now we have to check for a disease. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We can ignore 1, so no disease. Check for fatigue. We have 1, 2, 3. We're fine. Now we check for mutiny. Oh my goodness. Probably should have checked this. We have 3 unrest. Yeah. I can ignore maybe 1, but we have 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 skulls. I can ignore 1. That's not going to help. Okay, how much fatigue do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 fatigue. Potentially, this could mean mutiny. But I have a skill to ignore one of these traumas. So in this round, I'm going to ignore one of these fatigues, which just barely keeps me alive. And that concludes the check on the events. Wow. Okay. I need to get rid of some of these traumas, but I can't. Okay, sunset. Discard the lowest value one, which is this one. I'm going to discard this, which is terrible because now I have so much disease. And then, yeah, I have no more cards here, so I can't reduce to 3. So, back to sunset. First of all, let's draw some cards. At least it's sunny here. Probably going to be going there. And another sunny in the middle. Well, thank goodness for that. So we have sunshine, thundercloud, but which makes it sunny weather at least. So we get 3 actions plus 1 action, extra action from the skills. 1 extra navigation point. Okay. Let's see if we can make it at least through this card. Okay, 1 card. We get 2 movement. Plus 1 movement, already 3 movement. We're already there. Okay. Or I could use this skill, but I only have 1 motivation, so that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I could swap with this one. I could swap. But let's draw another card. Okay. The skill is 1 navigation point. Not going to help. Thunderclouds are not going to help. And this is also not going to help. It's not helping. Anyway, this will make it to the next step. Only need 1 more point to make it to the edge of the map. Let's take another card. Yes. Okay. That's a good one. Okay. Last token is for movement. Should I do that or should I swap to stay alive? That would probably be the sensible thing to do. But it would only save me 1. Nah. Just for the sake of the video and the experience we're all gonna have now, me dying here, let's just use this 1 token just to make 1 final sprint to the edge of the map and see what's on the other side of the map. Okay, we're exploring, right? So we're going to use this token to move. We are going to move 3 here. So that's this one plus the extra one that's in here somewhere. And then we're going to use 2, which is this one. And I'm left with this one, which is fine. Should I do that one? Yeah. Okay, so we're at the edge of the map again. Get rid of this one in this order, keep that one, and turn around this next map, which is this one. Okay, we're going to end up here probably, or here. Where are we? I think we're here. And potentially we could move that way, or we could move that way. This would be the quickest route, I think, and the cheapest one, if I can ever make it that way. Anyway, this is like that, which indeed is a clear blue ocean. Potentially still have this one card. We are still in the navigation part of the turn. I could use this last card, my last resort, because I can't use the skill anyway, or gain the skill anyway, because I don't have any motivation here. So I could use this one spot to move over there. Let's do that. So at least I moved a bit. Okay, I think we're nearing death now, because we're going to do the skill check, or the event check. So for skills, unfortunately this turn, nothing. So for unrest, yeah, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's unrest. We have to discard the lowest card. And actually we had to draw a new card and add it to the adventure row. That we were supposed to do that previously. Let's do it straight away. Okay, it's a sunny thing, and it's a fatigue. Okay, next one, the skull check. By the way, I couldn't use my ignore card because there were just too many unrest, so that wouldn't have helped. Okay, the skulls. So disease, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're fine on that. Then fatigue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is terrible. But I'm going to use my my ignore thingy, I think. Yeah. To ignore that. Am I going to do that? Or I have to lose 3 morale. Let's see the mutiny check, because I do have 3 unrest. I do have 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have 4. I have 4 diseases, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fatigue. So I'm as dead as can be. This is what's called mutiny. So, so here you can see that if it takes too long for you to get across all these maps and not have any encounters in a positive way, then yeah, you lose the game. Mutiny happens, and you, the captain of the ship, are losing control of your boat and your fleet, and you're never going to arrive at your destination. Well, anyway, if you guys want to see the final destination, by the way, it looks something like this. I'll show you. This is the final card. So if you make it onto this part of the map, all you need to do, all you need to go do is land on one of these two spots here where the flag is, and then eventually you will win the game. But unfortunately for us, or for me, I didn't get enough skills to ignore the traumas. I also didn't get enough events to block some of these traumas. Also didn't get enough experience to add another action or remove one of the traumas. So maybe next time I would try to go for more encounters and perhaps in that way try and win the game. But so far I haven't managed to win this game. Well, that's not true. I managed to win this game only once, and I was very lucky with some of these encounter cards. These sometimes are very fortunate and give you, extra morale or extra actions, or let you remove a trauma. Removing a trauma is huge. That's the way to actually gain some more time and actually have a slight slither of an opportunity to win this game. So, yeah, I highly recommend this torture of a game, actually, and it's very challenging, and it makes me want to really, challenge the game and see if I can win. This is one of the few games I'm actually also going to take the trouble of sleeve my cards, because you use them a lot while playing the adventure deck. And yeah, I highly recommend this game because it's so frustrating. It's so annoying. And that's why I like it, because this really is a challenge. Also, kudos for the one who made all this artwork, which is Jorge Tabanera. This is an excellent job you did. Really, really beautiful thematic artwork, amazing. It really makes me enjoy the game, and yeah, brilliant, just brilliant game. So if you have the opportunity to get this one, wherever you buy board games, go and get this one and keep it in your collection, because it's a very small box. I'm sure you have some spot somewhere on your shelf to put this game. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you like more content like this, then please follow me on my channel, and yeah, hope to see you on the next one. Enjoy.